Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Can I have my slides, please? There is a great temptation for me to start by commenting on the points of Professor Galbraith on Greece. And they are several and quite ripe. I will try to avoid that and just do it once to introduce my topic. Professor Galbraith, that young left party, Syriza, jumped from 5% to 25% of the vote in a period of months because of the crisis. And now, for the last year or so, they have been stuck to around 27%. And the reason is that the people are not ready to fight just for financial concepts and discussions. They need more than that. They need ideas worth fighting for. They can fight for their bread, for their shelter, for the quality of life. They need a development model. And that's our starting point with my colleague and friend, Professor Massimo Monteleone of the University of Foggia in the southern part of Italy, in Puglia, where based on our research, we propose to the 5 Southern European EU members a new development orientation. We call that the Manifesto of the European Mezzogiorno, for obvious reasons. Of course, the crisis is our starting point. And this is a graph I particularly like, especially students like it. It's a summary of the beginning of crisis in one image, 1,000 words, according to President Mao. It is produced by The Economist, and it is a graph of the holy grail of the capital-based economies, or the capitalist economies. It's the percent increase from last year. And that precipitated from between 4 and 5 down to below 0 in a matter of months. If you were a manager and your people showed you such a diagram, what would be your reaction? To fire them, to close the company, to do something drastic. It shows a failure, a systemic failure, and it is the beginning of our proposal for the manifesto. A time of crisis is a time of change. And change, according to the title of our conference, is a reversion of things. So this guy, if you don't recognize him, it's a pity, Nicolaus Copernicus, started it all by reversing the situation of his time. It's not the sun that moves around the earth. It's the opposite. And that put the science out of the control of the big ideologies, especially church, and started the process of which I'm a humble example here, sitting in front of you with my engineering studies. Could we imitate the Copernican example? Could we do this type of reversion or revolution? To paraphrase another famous manifesto, from the western coast of Portugal to the eastern coast of Cyprus, a specter is spreading all over crisis-plagued Southern Europe. It is the specter of following the wrong development model. A common element in the different crises in plural between Portugal, Spain, Italy, Greece, and Cyprus, to say the least, is that systemic lack of a right development model. I'm sure this could apply and interest other countries in the Mediterranean, in the Balkan, and even outside, but let's keep our view within Southern Europe. We have summarized our manifesto in 10 commandments, to use another powerful metaphor. This slide summarizes the first 5 because they form a group of more general orientation. Number 1, research and innovation are key ingredients for development. They are not a luxury surplus to cut together with the budget. It's something deep in the change process, and we have to preserve the value of these tools. Number 2, not all research could be useful in this time. Product and service innovation excels compared to process innovation, and unfortunately, it is process innovation that dominates schools like my engineering departments. Number 3, there are 3 tsunamis of change, in summary called the info, the bio, and the nano. We have to work with them, get power, but at the same time control their destructive potential up to a certain point. Number 4, hard work on science and research should be accompanied with the so-called soft measures, covering all the human, socio-societal aspects. Actually, the core of technical change is soft. It's not the periphery that is soft with a hard nucleus. So soft means a lot for society and the future. And number 5, a powerful sector of this research-based strategy should be the green, sustainable bioeconomy. We believe that this is a key element. It is a central element in our strategy because it will put together all the creative elements in the 5 southern economies. The definition of bioeconomy is an excellent concept. Both Greek elements, the bio and the economy, are rich in connotations. In italics, you can read the official definition of the European Commission. But most important is the list I have made of sectors that could fall under the umbrella of bioeconomy, from agricultural food all the way to rural development through environment, bioenergy, health, pharmaceuticals. All this is the beauty of these tremendously fragmented sectors, but important for the life and the future of the economies and the societies. The financial value is also very important. These are official, but still tentative data of the European Commission, showing that there is a potential of about 2 trillion euros in the European bioeconomy and close to 25 million of employment. So the strategic stakes are important, but we have to unify all these fragmented sectors. The list of reasons why we have to do that is very long, and I don't have to repeat that because they dominate the agenda of the Sorrento meetings. Look at the map of Europe. We have modeled 4 types of bioeconomy and tried to see how they fit to the 28 member states. And you can see the variety. The Mediterranean has almost all 4 models, so each country could select and differentiate according to basic principles. Now the second group of 5 commandments. Number 6, we have to pick among this chaotic, but in a positive way, a potential of bioeconomy, the critical points to focus our efforts. And these differ from country to country, from region to region. So research is important, but we need new types of research. Research going for the right target and not just repeating the inertia of the past. And at the same time, we have to generate new professional skills. Our education systems are in crisis. We have to provide questions and, if possible, answers to those questions. And the last 2, very important, maybe these are the top of our commandments. We have to navigate in the existing or the changing policy environment. We have to solve the policy problem. And number 10, international and interregional cooperation is a key ingredient of all these movements. These are examples of the differentiates you could get by hybridizing with the tsunamis and the different technologies. We have no time to focus on that. Look at the powerful link between the bio-based economy and informatics. My students told me that this is obsolete because now the baby would be using tablet, not PC. So informatics and bio-based economy would go hand in hand as the crossroads of these 2 very powerful streams of the last 50 years, the biotechnology one with the greener one. Now there is a chance to meet, to put together these 2 very powerful but different means. We have many interesting proposals. A professor of biology from MIT speaks about domesticating molecules. This is the time to try and repeat the Neolithic revolution in a different format. I promised that the policy environment is a key constraint. Look at the number of policies listed here that dominate the success I'm about to finish of the bioeconomy. How to navigate in this complex area? 3 possible replies. Cut the Gordian knot, use the power of friends, and get, if possible, help from the sky. International cooperation is this type of power of friends, and the Sorrento meeting is an excellent example of how, by networking and exchange of knowledge, we can do that. So the roadmap to the future is open, provided we do all these things. We change practically everything, but that's the idea. The idea of change is to remove the obstacles and take advantage of opportunities. It's a revolution. Why not? So, aux armes citoyennes from our friend Copernicus. Thank you so much.